And tonight from Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg, it's the Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. We'll be here for the next hour or so talking Liberty Flames football. The 4-0 Flames take on Appalachian State coming up on Saturday. 3:30 kickoff in Boone. We'll be there with our entire radio crew for our 2 o'clock pregame show, and I look forward to that one coming up on Saturday. How did the Flames get to 4-0? Wow, marathon ball game with East Carolina, 35-24 win over the Pirates. A stadium record, 24,076 were there to see it. I don't know how many people ended up watching it at 2 a.m. And we got a microphone here. For those that were in the venue at 2 a.m. when this game ended, I would love to get some point of view kind of stories on what you did. So don't be shy. Got the microphone coming up here. And whenever you want to come up, we'd love to hear your stories on the 4-hour, 37-minute weather delay. And here to tell us the real story of what went on in that game, the head coach of the Flames, Jamey Chadwell. Coach, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
We are doing phenomenal. Really good crowd here tonight at Mellow Mushroom. Have you recovered from Sunday morning yet?
No, you know that's the thing that it's hard too, because you got church in your mind. You know, you can't shut it off after the game, so you're not going to bed. You know, I think you got home at 3:15, and then you're thinking about a lot of stuff. So, and then you're back at work. Sunday to get ready for. So it's hard to catch up. Hopefully tomorrow night and Thursday we can get a little get back to a little routine there, but. Worthwhile staying up that late for sure.
Absolutely. Your social media team, which does a great job, put a number of videos out since Sunday. And there was one I saw today, and it was your pregame speech. The game kicked at 6:02. Your speech was maybe 5:45. And you said, we're going to strike that stone for as long as it takes. Did you know something we didn't know Saturday?
Obviously, I wish I did. I wouldn't have said it. I'd have said, hey, guys, we're going to go out there for 3 minutes and come back in. But, that was unique. I mean, we went at, the first game, Campbell, for 30-something minutes. Right. But never been in one that long, and just, hey, we're at 19 minutes, lightning strike, and then, hey, we're at 22 minutes, another lightning, and just kept going and going. And so it was almost like, are we going to play? And there was discussions about that as well. I mean, we met with Ian. Ian came down and said, hey, here's what we're thinking. What's your thoughts? And some different things, because I think at a certain point you had to think, hey, is this going to be able to play or not? Are you going to play on Sunday? That was part of it as well. Talking about, hey, can you play Sunday? And there's a lot of logistics going into that. And so there was a lot of conversations about that. And then it opened up and ended up being a beautiful night after the 4-hour and 37-minute rain delay.
And a tip of the cap to those fans that did stay. I know there was about 4 or 5 rows of students that stayed to watch the game. And the crowd that did stay, they were loud, they were engaged, they were into it. I know you could hear them. Those fans that did stay, how much did it energize this group as you came back out there?
Yeah, it was great. One, just to see them out there, and two, they were loud. Everybody was there. It was loud. I mean, there were some moments there in the second half on some key situations. It got loud. Even there, when 17-0, when they got that false start, when they had the ball at the 9, our fans were loud and down there. And so, whatever the total was that stayed. They made their presence felt, which was a big deal and helped us. I think they were a big part of helping us win the game.
And a lot of those fans are here in Mellow Mushroom here tonight.
Most of the fans in here are the ones that talk bad about the light blue uniforms too.
You're 2-0 in them.
We're 2-0 in them.
2-0.
2-0. I'm not going to call any names out, Kathy Hudson.
And what'd you say at your media session today? When is our Flames the brightest or the hottest?
The Flames are the hottest when they're light blue.
That's right.
That's true. Look it up.
So you went 35-24. We heard in the locker room there was a dance party going on. I saw from some of these videos some guys were playing chess. TJ Bush was just talking to guys. How did most of the guys spend that 4+ hours?
Well, they weren't studying, I can tell you that. But, I purposely do not go in there.
Okay.
One, because I think that's their locker room, and you want them to have a place where if the coach does come in there, it's for hey, pregame, whatever it may be. And so I went in there one time just to say, hey, this is what they're telling us when kickoff may be. So, and that was probably at 9:45.
Yeah.
And our strength coaches and people went in there just for some of those things, but it was not going to do us any good to get them in there and say, hey, stay locked in when you had no set time to know what was going to happen. And it's hard to maintain a young person that's 18 to 22, 23's focus for a long time anyway. And so, you sort of meet them where they're at and say, hey, we're just let them do what they need to do. And I saw pictures and videos of going outside and doing things, and they had a good time with it, and it kept them loose, which was good. And I'm all fine with that. But then once it's time to turn it on, hey, do we lock back in? I think the whole key is it's not necessarily about focus. It's about, are you able to refocus? Mm-hmm. Something's always going to take your focus away, whether that's weather or whether that's a bad call or whatever it may be. Can you refocus in that moment? And our guys were able to refocus after all that, and for 2.5 quarters, we played really nice football.
And I do want to get to the game. One more question about the delay, Coach. At what point with you and your support staff, you mentioned, Chad Scott, your strength coach, was it, okay, we're 90 minutes into this, we're 2 hours into this, okay, these are some concerns we start to see now from food, nutrition, just keeping them loose. What were some of those conversations, or did it even come up?
The food one's the big one because they're going to get hungry, and so thankfully you're at a home game, so you have food there, whether that's peanut butter jelly sandwiches or different things we had on premise,
right? And
so which was big, and then so you had that to help pass the time, but then you can also run to wherever the next place over there, and if you need to pick up some more. Mm-hmm. So I think that was good that we had plenty there, and Miss Allison, our team dietitian, she did a fantastic job of keeping them hydrated and allowing them to have the food they need to make sure that they were full. And because most people, I don't know, you eat, typically most teams eat 4 hours before the game, so their last meal was between 2 and 2:30,
right?
And then they might, have something here or there, but, they're going to get hungry by that halftime. Mm-hmm. And so by 8 o'clock, they're all pretty hungry. And then you don't play for another 2 hours. So there's a lot going on with that. And she did a great job, and our support staff. And Coach Scott are just making sure that the guys are, not having a good time, staying loose, but also not being crazy. And his staff did a nice job of that, and making sure they just stay within themselves and allowed them to be who they are and be in the moment, but also know when they need to turn it back on.
Liberty 4-0. They'll take on Appalachian State on Saturday in Boone, North Carolina, 3:30 kickoff. All right, let's get into some logistics of your win over East Carolina. You come back out 10:45, and that was right on time when we were told it was going to start, and you punt it to East Carolina. They scored a couple of quick times, aided by a fumble, and then they kick a field goal. Start of the second quarter, and Caden Salter threw an interception. You gave them the ball deep in their territory. Take us through that throw. What did he see? What have y'all talked about that? And then we'll talk about the defensive stand. You got him then a missed field goal.
Yeah, I had a pass concept on where we had a post over the middle and then an in route coming, and he stepped up and had an opportunity to run, and he knew the in route was coming, and thought he could get it in there, but he had to throw it over somebody. And usually if you have to throw it over somebody, it's not the best decision, right? Because it could sell on you, which it did, and they were able to, so it wasn't the best decision there. I thought he could have ran it. He's trying to make plays in the pocket there. So from a quarterback standpoint, that's a hard position to play. So you always want to find out, hey, what they seeing, what their thought. It's not one of those you want to yell at all the time because it's a hard position to play. And so, but that was a whole turning point because they're going to blow us out of the water. It's going to be 24-0, at least in your head. It's going to be 24-0. And you're really, as a coach, I'm sitting there thinking, hey, all this talking about keep striking, we're really going to get tested tonight because this might get ugly. And the coach over there, who's probably not I'm not on his Christmas list, he was going to run it up.
Right.
If he could run it up, he was going to run it up. Yeah. And that whole sequence there, I thought they played not to win.
Sure.
And we decided to play to win, and that changed the whole momentum there. And so defensively getting the stand, missing the field goal, and then we were a completely different offense after that.
I remember when that field goal missed wide left, I remember vividly seeing Dexter Ricks Jr., number 20, who ended up with an interception to seal the game, ironically enough. Just his energy was like, hey, we're not out of this game. It's 17-0. You've been there before.
Yeah.
New Mexico State.
Unfortunately.
In time situation, like the real time as it was kind of similar to what you had out there at New Mexico State. See, get the ball back, 12 plays, 80 yards. Elijah Canyon scores and get you on the board.
Yeah, I think, we had some plays to make earlier. We had the interception. We had the fumble there on the one, and if you go back and watch that, if we execute that, there's a potential to have and this is not hyperbole, a 99-yard touchdown run. We had them in something that we knew they were going to get in. We got to the right check, and we have it, set up to have a huge play, and we don't execute it. And so as you went back, it was not necessarily – because, we're watching the game on the tablets. Mm-hmm. It was not anything from a scheme standpoint or an effort standpoint. It was we were doing some things that from an effort, from a focus standpoint that we're not coached to do. And we just had to get that fixed. That settled down, and then that we started making some third downs. We started being able to mix and match and do some different things with throwing the ball and getting some confidence there. And I think the defense getting the stop gave our offense confidence. Saying, hey, all right, we're not out of this. Let's just go score, and it did, and it energized our whole offense. And you saw the defense running off there, but you also saw the offense. If you were paying attention to the sideline, the offense went out there and was like pumped that they did it. And so I think it gave us, and we executed way better on offense. I mean, we scored 5 straight times, right? Five straight drives we scored. Yep. And we're capable of playing that way. We've not played that way, which is my responsibility. But we're capable of that, and they're a good defense. Their scheme is hard to try to scheme up and all that, and it took us about once we started executing the way we were capable of. I think we have that type of offense where we can. I'm not saying we can score 50 points all the time, but where we can move the ball on anybody we play. And we came out of that drive going to the locker room. Our guys knew, all right, hey, we're in a good position, even though we were down. Right. They knew, like, all right, we've got this thing figured out.
You're down 17-7 at halftime. I joked with our radio crew, they're not even going to do a halftime after 4.5 hours.
There was a lot of talk. We talked before the game started. Like, do you need a 5-minute? Do you need a 10? Do you need a 12? Do you need a 15? Do you do the full one? And we were leaning towards 10, but talking to our defensive coaches, they said, hey, I think it'd be beneficial for 15 just because, they're a tempo team and they go fast. And so if they're in a situation where they're going really fast and our guys are a little tired and some of those things, it might be beneficial to have a little bit, at least 15. So I thought that was a wise decision. So we went 15, and it was just enough. You get in there, you do what you need to do, you make a couple corrections here or there, you talk to your players, you let them use the bathroom, do the things they need to do, and then you're right back out there. And our strength coaches did a really nice job. We knew the offense was up first, and so they did a specific workout with the offense to make sure they were ready to go. And then defensively they were doing one, but it was a little bit different because they knew they didn't have to go out right away. Yeah, we did that. With Campbell as well, and it really paid dividends with us. And so I think that was a really good. We came out on fire offensively, and our guys were ready. That workout or warm up, I should say, really got us ready to go.
Yeah, that. Third quarter was it was incredible. I mean, really the whole second half. Time of possession, Jamey, all told 36-43 in favor of Liberty to 23-17. Second half, 22-19 to 7-41. You guys did not let them have the ball at all.
No, and that's when you're a tempo team like they are. If you can get them off the field, which we were able to do some, and keep the ball. You wear a defense down, and we were able to do that, and our defense was able to stay fresh, and if you look, I really thought I didn't, not going in, you don't talk about time of possession that much, but I did, if we can sustain drives, that's what I said earlier. I thought it was going to be hard to run the ball versus them. I thought we could still, I always think we can run the ball versus anybody, but what they do makes it challenging, and if we could do 150, I thought, well, at least that means we're running it, we're capable and maybe controlling the clock. To be able to, I think we rushed for 190 or something like that. But to hold the ball that long was a big deal, and to do well on the third downs. And so that ended up being a huge, because their defense was dead tired. Yeah. they kept rotating guys in, and they were just dead tired. And because they played a lot of plays, and our offense kept getting stronger and stronger. And if we don't have some foolish things early and some foolish things really after we take the lead, I don't know if they take the lead back, because we put them in, we gave them 33 yards, and which is I've got to figure out.
Reese Smith, 3 touchdown catches. He had 80 yards all told. 6 catches for him. Which of the 3 was the one that you keep playing back in your mind? Man, that was a cool catch.
Well, all 3 were hard. The first one, he goes up, and the DB's behind him. There's one coming up, and the DB in front of him did an unbelievable job. He went through the ball, and Reese, you talk about from a receiver, you high point and you tuck, and he high pointed and he tucked, and he knew he was going to get hit, and that DB made a great play, but he was strong enough to do that one. And then really the last one, anytime you throw the ball across the middle, there's a chance that you're going to get blown up. And even though there's targeting and all these things, you're still going to get hit. Yeah. And what I was impressed with, he was able to make the catch, but also turn his body just a tad so he wouldn't take like a huge hit. And to have that control and that awareness is pretty amazing. And those were all third downs, and so they were all great throws, put where they need to be. But I don't think people realize unless you really follow what he's had to go through. Right. And how big that was for him, and if he'd have got that 4th one, I think everybody would have exploded.
That was the one I was like, he
had that. That was actually probably the easiest catch.
Yeah,
truthfully, because he was there, but that's hard when you land on the ground.
And he said that's the one that he keeps thinking about, not the 3 he scored on, but the one that he dropped there on the dive.
It's always the one you don't get.
Right. Not to be forgotten defensively. You got a couple of takeaways in that 4th quarter. Corey Jones. A big fumble recovery, and then we mentioned Dexter Ricks, the interception that kind of put.
The fumble recovery is big, because they're inside the 20.
Yep.
And driving, and they're in a 4-down territory, so they're going to go for it, no matter what. So as a coach, you're thinking, all right, if we stop them, great, but we're backed up because they're not going to kick a field goal. Now he might have, because he was playing the odds, I guess, but that was a big play, and it was. Chris Body came in. It was the one that actually caused the fumble. We had 3 guys there, and you're taught when you're taught to go after the ball. And he went after the ball, and it came out. And to be able to get that was huge. And then, that let us be able to finish the game.
Dante Lee Jr. had 3 catches, 50 yards receiving. Division II transfer from Shaw. I know in your locker room, for him to have a game like he did, that's big for him. How can a game like that for Dante Lee kind of spur him on this season?
Yeah, Dante's got great speed, as you can see. When he turns the corner, he can go. We're transferring up from Division II to this level. The biggest challenge is learning how to practice consistently, and then the strength. Didn't have a great strength program, didn't have great nutrition, and so he's still getting to that point. But from an ability standpoint, he's got a chance to be pretty good. And each week, he's learning what to do. He's learning how you need to practice, how you need to prepare, and he's getting some opportunities, and he's making the most of them. He's definitely a home run threat. But it's the other things to be able to play him and do the things necessary you need to do all the time. Can you go out there and block? Can you run the route the right way? Can you do all these different things that besides just running deep one time, and he's gotten, over the last 4 weeks, he's earned more and more trust through practice and through his preparation. His confidence is skyrocketing. Now, you'll never know because he never does anything but just sit there like this. Never smiles, doesn't say much, but he's very capable of being a home run threat, and you're seeing some of that. We've had him on some. We've not got him. They've covered different things, but if he continues to come along, with Tyson and Elijah making some plays, Reese making some plays, obviously Trayon, we're getting where we got some different guys that we can mix and match that can do some different things that really can help us move the ball and score points. And so proud of him. He's stuck to it. And it's, anytime you transfer, no matter where you transfer from, you think you should be the dude. That's life. And you don't, maybe you don't look in the mirror and say, oh, I got to get this or this. To his credit, he's stayed the course, just keeps working, and he's getting rewarded for that a little bit, which is nice to see.
Quentin Cooley, 19 carries, 105 yards rushing. East Carolina had not given up a 100-yard rushing game, not from a player, but a team has not rushed 100 yards on them all year long.
Yeah,
and at what
and
point?
A lot until last season too.
Yeah, and what point in the game, because it was iffy on whether or not how many reps he would get, did you feel he was comfortable in the game?
Yeah, I think once we got through there the first half, and you go in the locker room, okay, he was feeling pretty good about things, and so you just, all right, hey, we're rolling with it at this point. I mean, the major thing that he more than anything was a turf toe.
Yeah.
And that's a challenge, but you put all this stuff in your shoes to help you and all those things. And there was one play that he came off. We had to take him off. It was going towards the band that he tried to make a cut, and he went on that toe a little bit, and you could see him a little bit. And so we're like, hey, let's get him off. Let's get Billy in there. But besides that, he stayed pretty, I won't say healthy, but it didn't look like it affected him. And so it was good to have him.
Good to have that 21-yard touchdown run too at the end. He looked fresh there at the end.
It looked real fresh. I mean, and I think that's the key. I mean, 19 carries is obviously a good amount, and Billy had, I think, 11, 13 somewhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a good balance for us.
We're going to go to the audience. Kathy Hudson has a question. First off, Kathy, the weather delay, how did you go through it, and what did you guys do those 4+ hours?
I can tell you what she did. She got on Facebook and complained about the light blue uniform.
Still 2-0, 2-0 in those light blues.
I don't care what color uniforms you wear as long as you keep them. I had fingernails, and I had a ribbon in my hair. So,
Awesome.
A lot about the weather delay. We went up to the concourse, and it was like cattle being herded to slaughter. I mean, it was so tight you couldn't breathe. It was so hard. That was really tough. There was a family behind us that had their 2-month-old baby there the first time.
Yeah.
And they drove from Winston-Salem. And
Okay.
they stayed till 9 o'clock, but they had to go back.
Right.
He was really disappointed that he had to leave.
Okay.
But we hung around. The husband ended up having to take my 78-year-old mother-in-law home because she just couldn't stand. There was nowhere to sit. I mean, she just couldn't stand any longer. But he came back.
That's good.
And that's a whole nother story, trying to figure out how to get back into this.
Did you sit in your same season ticket seats, or did you? Yeah.
Robert Hudson really likes those seats. And so then it was just a matter of hanging in there till we got back, and it was just so exciting. And I feel very responsible for that, where they got the false start.
Well, good. Thank you for. There you go.
My question is, there's been a lot of. I've watched all the videos this week. The defense was fabulous. Came around, and the offense. But it seemed like the offensive line, the O-line, really got a better push this time. Mm-hmm. Was that different personnel, or was that just it kicked in, or was it just opportunity?
There's a couple things with that. I think one, getting John Paul Flores back really helped us from a standpoint. He played 54 plays out of the 79, so he played a lot of plays. He's a guy, that's the first time ever playing for us, but he's been in college football for 7 years. So he's played a lot of football. And so one, that gives you somebody that's seen a lot of stuff. So he's able to go in there, even if they're doing, he doesn't panic. Where some of our other guys maybe that have not played as much and they're learning on the job, they're going to make some mistakes because they haven't seen it. And so I think he allowed us to maybe be better on the interior between the center and guards, and that helped us maybe eliminate some mistakes that we were making, and maybe some guys didn't play as much, so they didn't have as much chance to mess up, if that makes sense. And so, and Coach Durkin does a good job. Those guys will continue to get better, and I think I think what happens is maybe they're messing up, and you get frustrated, and maybe another position's not doing what they're supposed to do. And then you get frustrated, and so instead of having opportunities, you're 3 and out, and you're not getting opportunities to build drives. And I think what you saw Saturday is we were able to build some drives. I don't know all the scoring drives, but 8 plays, 10 plays, 12 plays. So we were able to extend some drives where those guys can really build some of that continuity and chemistry and not be 3 and out all the time. So I think that really gave us a lot of confidence in that. We ended up playing 7 guys, I believe, so 3 tackles. And 3 different guards, and so in your center. So those 7, and we have an 8th one that's played some, and he's still growing and learning. And so, but I think John Paul really helped us settle down a little bit.
That's great. We'll see you at App State.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Kathy. Yeah, you mentioned, Coach, 4 of your 5 scoring drives, all double digits, including a season-high 16-play drive on Reese's third touchdown catch, which you had 4 third-down conversions on that drive. And that's one, we'll take a timeout now, but I do want to talk about the conversions and your players of the week when we come back, because that was a big, big key in your win over East Carolina. We're at Mellow Mushroom here tonight talking Liberty football. The head coach, Jamey Chadwell, Liberty 4-0, will take on Appalachian State on Saturday, 3:30 kickoff in Boone, North Carolina. And we'll talk about App State coming up towards the bottom of our show. And the middle part of the show, we'll let Coach mingle with the crowd a little bit. We'll hear the post-game chat with Reese Smith and Corey Jones, who tied his career high with 7 tackles in the win over East Carolina. We'll be back to Mellow Mushroom after this 2-minute timeout. This is the Liberty Football Show presented by Freedom First Credit Union on Van Wagner.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
This August is Lynchburg Nissan's 27th anniversary. To celebrate, we're offering amazing and limited time savings. Save over $4,000 off MSRP on all 2024 Rogues in stock. These hot anniversary deals won't last long. Don't miss your chance to drive home in a brand new Rogue for less. Visit Lynchburg Nissan today, where 27 years of local service and community trust bring you the best deals of the year. Hurry, these savings end soon. Visit us online at lynchburgnissan.com.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels and the Liberty Flames.
Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. Give Earthright Mid-Atlantic a call today at 434-200-9716 or visit erepower.com.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Welcome back inside Mellow Mushroom tonight in Lynchburg for our Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. Liberty 4-0 will take on Appalachian State on Saturday in Boone, North Carolina. The Mountaineers 2-2 after a home loss over South Alabama this past Thursday. Interesting note on Appalachian State. Last time they lost back-to-back home games, 2014. Liberty was one of those. The loss before that, South Alabama. Can't make this stuff up. So that is what's in store for Saturday, and we'll get Coach's thoughts on that coming up in just a little bit. All right, Coach, 0 for 4 on your first third down conversions. You finished the game with 13 straight third down conversions. That was just simply amazing to stay on the field. And I know Caden Salter got his legs involved a little bit in that second half, but just to stay on the field, we talked about the time of possession, but to possess the ball and convert when you need. Those are money downs, man. You know that, right?
Yeah, those are important, and we've not been good at it. I mean, I think that's been one of the things we were, if you compare last year, we were top in the country in third down percentage and a lot. We were top 5, and that was a big deal. We were able to stay on. And this year, as we're a work in progress, we've not been good at that. That's been an Achilles heel, to be honest with you. And so for us in a game that's much needed, because again, the more you give an offense like them the ball, they're eventually going to wear you down because they go so fast and all those things. You got to keep them off the field. And I think we started 0 for 3, and then we went 13 in a row. Yeah. And then we had we didn't get the last one there before the 4th down conversion. And so that was a huge key. Yeah. That was a huge key. And a lot of those, some were 3rd and short, some were 3rd and medium. I think we had 4 3rd and longs out of there. So there was a good little mix. And all of our touchdowns, I think Therese were all 3rd downs. I think all of our throwing touchdowns might have been 3rd down, if I'm not mistaken. And so, I wish I could tell you every time we're going to be that percentage. I don't know exactly what that is, but that's really high.
It's really good.
Yeah, that's really good. And but if we can sustain drives and being manageable, but I think the key was out of those 18 times, only 4 of those were 3rd and long. And so that tells me, without looking at anything, we were better on 1st down. Okay. And so if you're good on 1st down, then you can be in 3rd and manageable, 3rd and mediums, 3rd, and then if you want to go for it in some of those. But when you're in those 3rd and longs, that's hard to convert those things. And so that was a big key, and that led to the time of possession, and that led to us wearing them down and their offense. Not getting the number of opportunities. When you have an offense like that, they want to run 85 plus plays. They ran 73, and so. Yeah. Big difference.
And they were on pace that first half to do that. But you win the game 35-24. Another note I've got here for those that are here at Mellow Mushroom, don't forget in October our shows shift to Thursday. So our next show is going to be October 3rd. That is before the FIU Tuesday game on October 8th. So be sure and pencil that on your refrigerator. All right, real quick before we take a break here, Coach. Your players of the week, talked about Reese Smith. Defensively, Dexter Ricks Jr. had another pick, 2 games in a row.
Yeah, Dexter's playing really well. He's getting the opportunity more this year than he ever has. Obviously, I don't know what happened prior to me being here, but, played a little bit last year. But with this year, you're not necessarily thinking he was going to be, a huge contributor, but with the injuries to E-Hop and Mo Williams, he's went in there and he's produced. And he's playing well. He's playing with confidence. And when it matters, he's in there. We're putting him in there, and I'm proud of him. He's stuck to it, and he's believing in himself. And he's had 2 big games, and he played really well. And that's huge for us because with the way we play defense, we put those guys sometimes on an island out there, and you got to be able to do a good job, and he has been.
Talk about Reese Smith. He was also the Conference USA Offensive Player of the Week. 6 catches, 80 yards, 3 touchdowns. Special teams, Colin Carhew, your place kicker, got it.
Yeah, I think, if you look at one area, we might not have beat ourselves, but we didn't help ourselves win was special teams. Mm-hmm. We did not play maybe our best overall game from an opportunity, meaning we call our special teams the spark because we need to provide the spark for us to light up, right? Yeah. That's the play on words there. And so we didn't have somebody really necessarily stand out, but Colin did a great job with 5 of 5 on our extra points. And you think, hey, you should make all those, but sometimes there's a little pressure on those. And so he's one, and he's been consistent for us, obviously, as we put him in. But for him to be able to go out there and make those and not taking anything away from him, he did a nice job. But it might have been also too. Nobody else stood out on the other ones as well.
Your Flames of the Week, offensively, Kyle Hanks, who during that Campbell game got his first career carry. So how did Kyle help your team last week?
So what Kyle did a fantastic job of from a special team standpoint is when we practice special teams, you're rushing the punt, and then the next time you're covering a kick, and then you're returning the kick. And he's on every one of those, goes hard, gives great looks, great effort. He's a great teammate. Everybody cares about him, and he earned some traveling for us because of his effort and the way he's playing.
And 2 other Flames of the Week, Delano Glaude, if I'm saying that correctly. His name is not on the pronunciation guide, so hopefully I didn't mess
Delano's
that up.
Right, yep.
And Clay Shepler.
Yeah, so Delano was a linebacker for us. We signed him late. He was actually could have gone to a prep school, had already graduated high school, and we brought him in this summer. He's from Canada originally. He's going to be a tremendous player for us. I mean, he's going to be a tremendous linebacker. He gives us great looks. He practices hard. We're really excited about his future. And then Clay, what Clay's done a good job for us. Clay ends up playing the receiver, the best receiver for the opposing team. We put them in his jersey, so it was number 1 this week. Last week, because their number 1 was their best player, and he's running every route, and he doesn't take a break, and he gives our secondary a great look, and he hustles. Proud of him and the effort that he gives us to prepare us.
All right, Coach, we're going to get you a little break here to enjoy some dinner, and we're going to hear some of the radio calls from Saturday and post-game interviews as well. Then we'll get you back here in about 15 minutes. We'll talk about Appalachian State, and then we'll get ready for the Mountaineers.
Sounds good.
All right, that's head coach Jamey Chadwell. Our show tonight brought to you by Freedom First Credit Union. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll intro the radio highlights of the win over East Carolina and let you hear from Reese Smith and Corey Jones during their post-game interviews from Sunday morning. This is the Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell at Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg, presented by Freedom First Credit Union.
At Carter Bank and Trust, we believe in a life lived full of plans, promise, and continuous growth. It's why our checking and savings accounts make it easy for you to earn high interest on your balance, so your money grows faster, all backed with the digital banking tools you need, so there's nothing holding you back from living life to the fullest. Open your new Carter Bank checking or savings account online in minutes at cbtcares.org or visit your local branch. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Athletics, member FDIC.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 40 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding life and health insurance, Medicare, and retirement planning. Thompson Brooks Insurance can be reached at 434-385-8500 or online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram. Century Exteriors is a proud supporter of Liberty Flames Athletics.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Moving right along on this Tuesday night from Mellow Mushroom, our Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell is presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Don't forget, coming up, our next show will be next Thursday, not this Thursday, but the following Thursday, October 3rd. All of our radio shows in October shift to Thursday because of Midweek on the Mountain, which begins for Liberty October 8th against FIU. At 7 o'clock. More information on tickets available at lufootball.com. So we got the Appalachian State game coming up on Saturday, and then we'll be here the next Thursday to recap that game and look ahead to FIU. Liberty coming off a 35-24, a home win over East Carolina on Saturday. Again, a record crowd, 24,076 paid to see it. And many of those folks were still around at 2 a.m. when the game ended. A game I'm sure we won't forget anytime soon. But it was the last game, and those are important just like the next games are. And during this time of the show, we always like to look back and listen back to some of the radio calls if you missed them. And coming up after that, we'll hear postgame reaction from wide receiver Reese Smith, who had a career-high 6 catches for 80 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a Corey Jones, who had a key fumble recovery in the second half, also tied his career high with 7 tackles. So let's take a listen back, some of the highlights from Saturday's win over East Carolina.
3rd down and 10 after loss, back at the 13. Salter in the shotgun. Again, the snap, number 7 on the right hash, throws end zone, wide open, sliding catch, light him up, touchdown Liberty, Elijah Canyon. His first Liberty touchdown on the right side of the end zone. Little underthrown ball, but catchable for number 5, and the Flames are on. 3rd down and 6 from the Pirates 17. 3 receivers bunched in towards the line to the left, 1 to the right. High snap brought down by Salter. He throws end zone. Smith is there. He goes up. He comes down. He's got the ball. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Reese Smith jumping up right on top of the L of Liberty to the north end zone, hauling it in. 2 receivers wide right. Garcia the snap, throws near side, caught, incomplete. A low throw dropped at the 28, and the Flames take over.
Huge defensive stand there by Liberty. They got a little bit of a break with that drop ball, but great job with the Liberty Flames defense.
The momentum shifting to the powder blue. And Billy Lucas, the gel back to the right of Salter. Out of a Liberty timeout. Liberty down 3, 2:58 to play in the 3rd. Snap to Caden. He's on the hash. He's looking to the end zone. Fade, right corner. It's going to be caught over the shoulder. Near side, light him up. Touchdown, Reese Smith. The Flames, for the first time, have the lead in this game.
That looks like a play that they run in practice all the time.
Shotgun for Salter. 2 receivers left and right. Snap back to number 7 on the right hash. Throws end zone. It's going to be a diving attempt and a catch made. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Flags are in the end zone, but it's not going to matter. It's Reese Smith again. Touchdown, Liberty.
Reese Smith holds up 3 fingers to say, that's my 3rd catch, and man, that was on the money.
5, 2nd down and 5 to Pirates. They have it inside the Earth-Right Mid-Atlantic red zone at the 19-yard line. Snap to Garcia. Handoff up the gut. This is Harris. Chopped down around 17, and the ball came out. Will the Flames say they have it?
They do.
They do. A Corey Jones.
No whistle.
Picks up the ball, and will await the call here.
It was the last hit to Harris. I didn't see who had it, but it was that last hit that knocked it out.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The first takeaway of the ball game inside the Pirates red zone.
After review, the ruling on the field of a fumble recovered by the defense stands. First down, Liberty.
All right, ball's at the 21 of the Pirates. Flames lead 28-24, 2:07 left with first down. No timeouts left for East Carolina. Elijah Canyon, Reese Smith to the left. And Trayon Sibley to the right. Snap to Salter. Hand off the middle. Up the middle. Goes Cooley. He's into the end zone. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Put this one on ice.
It's the one play that we were waiting to see from Cooley. That's his spot, that A gap right up the middle. It hasn't been there all night until just now when the
a 4-hour bus trip back to Greenville when this one's over. Snap to Garcia. Play action in the pocket at midfield. He'll throw near side. A ball tipped and intercepted. Dexter Ricks. He's on the run near side. 40 at midfield. Popped out of bounds. And this game is over. Dexter Ricks Jr. seals it for Liberty with his 2nd pick in as many games. Rajay Harris.
Reese, a huge night for you. I know it had to be personal for you after overcoming so much with the injuries, and then you have family up there watching as well, your fiance, your parents. I mean, just how special was this night?
Right. First off, all glory to God. Like, being patient is one of the one of the words I live by. This is the true definition of it. I mean, starting to feel like myself. So, and when you got family in the stands, like that's just, it's different for you. Like you feel like you're playing for something bigger than yourself. Of course, you got your teammates, but when you see your own blood in the stands, like this is different. It feels good.
What point did you start to realize, hey, I'm back, I'm healthy?
Right. I knew I had that in me. I knew I had this game in me, and I knew Coach Washington and the staff trusted me and knew that they believed in me. I just had to go out there and show it. And when my number was called, I went there and made a play. That's just what I did all game.
Coach kind of got emotional up here talking about what all you've overcome. Could you kind of just take us through a little bit of, obviously if you don't want to go too much into it, but take us through a little bit of your journey and kind of what everything culminated into tonight.
Right. So got here in January 2 years ago. Was at West Virginia for 3 years. Came here with Coach Washington, the receivers coach. Went through the whole spring, had a phenomenal spring. Got in the summer, tore my ACL meniscus. Devastated, like in a bad headspace for most of the time. Was down and out. Got cleared, came back, was strong, feeling like myself again, and get back in summer workouts before the season this year and tore my meniscus again in that same knee. So I missed all the summer workouts. And it kind of set me back a little bit. And it's hard not to get down on yourself, like the mental aspect of it. I didn't know how big of an effect it was going to take on me, people telling you all that. But, I just had to keep my head up. And then I think the New Mexico State game is when I realized, like, hey, like, your knee's good. Like, it's time to go. Like, it's time to roll and do your part to help this team win. And I think that was a big part of it, stacking weeks now.
Was there anything specific in that game in New Mexico State, a certain play or just the way you felt?
I think the preparation leading up to the week, too. They had, planned on getting me the ball early. I had a catch pretty early in the game, and that was a confidence booster. And then I had several catches throughout the game and had that 2-point conversion at the end. And after that, I was, like, hey, like, you're here. Like, it's time to roll.
Take us back to your first touchdown tonight. What did it feel like to bring that in and get in the end zone, get 6 up on the board?
Right. I had a couple catches before that, and then, that play was called, and the safety was inside leverage, so I knew I had leverage on him. I knew the ball was probably coming to me, and he threw it. The way I look at it, when the ball's in there, it's mine. But, yeah, just huge. We were down, what, 7-17, I think? And that was a huge momentum builder for the whole team. Whatever I can do to get the guys excited, and it was huge.
Couple plays tonight where you and Caden didn't appear to quite be on the same page, but then 2 touchdown catches to give you guys the lead on 2 different occasions after that. Tell us a little bit about the trust that you and Caden have been able to build, especially, like you said, with missing so much time, summer workouts, all that.
Right.
How long has it taken to kind of build that, and where are you guys at with it now?
Yeah, so like I said, I missed summer workouts and didn't really get to throw in spring ball either because I was just coming back. So I really ain't got to throw with him that much until fall camp. And I trust him, and I know he trusts me. We just got to find that connection. And tonight was a big step in the right direction, I think. Like you said earlier, we missed a couple throws, and, we talked about it. Like, I was asking what he was seeing. He was asking what I was seeing. And, and then we made that first touchdown catch, and it was like, hey, like, we just knocked down the barrier. Like, it's time to go now.
Guys got off to a little bit of a slow start again tonight. Seems to be a recurring theme this year. What can you guys do to try to, halt that from happening again?
Right. I mean, it's been a struggle, and I'm not saying the 4-hour delay didn't help, but coming out fast needs to be something that we emphasize in practice, and I think we've been doing a good job of it in practice this past week in preparation. We just got to carry it over to the game, and I think we went 3 and out in offense, but the defense started playing well. The defense came out, and then they wanted to receive the ball, and the defense shut them down. So I think offense has to pick up their part in that.
Corey said there was a dance party in the locker room when you guys in that 4-hour delay. Were you leading that?
I was not. I was watching, but no, it was the guys have fun, man. That's what it's all about. Like, you got to take the game serious, but you can't take it too serious. Like, you got to relax and have fun, because if you're uptight, not a lot of good things are going to happen. You need to relax and play ball, and that's what I love about this team and the staff. We just go out there, have fun, and we rely on each other, and we have fun doing it. I think that's the biggest part.
Big win tonight. First of all, though, take me through that 4.5-hour stretch where you guys are just waiting, not even sure if you're going to play the game probably after a while. How in the world are you guys spending all that time in the locker room and staying focused, knowing that there could still be a game here?
We stayed focused, but we had to find a way to get our energy up. So we in there playing music, dancing, having fun, just, you know what I'm saying, being prepared. We good, like, mentally, but we were having fun, make sure we still knew, like, we had something ahead of us.
Who's leading the dance party?
It was a couple in there. Everybody got in the circle for real, yeah.
You had the fumble recovery there in the second half. I think maybe Bodie got to the ball carrier first. I don't know. Take me through what you saw when you picked up that fumble.
Okay, so I think I was coming down and I just seen it stacked up. I was gonna go for the punch out, but before I could even go for the punch out, the ball was already on the ground. So I picked it up, and my knee was on the ground, and I was just like telling them it's our ball. They tackled me, but I wasn't mad about it.
Were you nervous when they went to the replay review and took so long?
I knew it was out. I was good.
Coach talked about how important the stand was there whenever they got the turnover deep into your territory and they held to a field goal and then they missed the field goal. Whenever you guys were running out the field for that moment, what were you guys talking about? You had a chance to go down, you were going to get it out 24-0. What was kind of being said amongst the defense right there?
We just always keep striking, whatever happens. So if they would have made it, we still would have played the next play. So however it would have went, we was going to be prepared.
This team has had a deficit in all 4 games so far this year. And second time that it was, 17-3 or 17-0. What is it about, first of all, falling behind, but then maybe the mentality to stay with it and keep striking, as you guys say?
Right. We are a resilient team. I feel like we got to do better coming out faster, getting on teams early. But at the end of the day, like you said, we're going to keep striking. We're going to strike that stone. We're going to find a way.
Did the missed field goal give you guys some life, some hope there on the sideline there when it stayed 17-0?
I feel like we had it from the jump. Like, we never lost it on the defensive side. We know we're capable of. We know what we're capable of. We know what our offense is capable of. So we were good.
And that's post-game reaction from Liberty's win over East Carolina on Saturday. Next up, the 4-0 Flames head to the high country, Boone, North Carolina, to take on the 2-2 Appalachian State Mountaineers. We'll get Coach Chadwell's thoughts on Appalachian State and wrap things up after this 2-minute timeout on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
At Carter Bank & Trust, we believe in a life lived full of plans, promise, and continuous growth. It's why our checking and savings accounts make it easy for you to earn high interest on your balance, so your money grows faster, all backed with the digital banking tools you need, so there's nothing holding you back from living life to the fullest. Open your new Carter Bank checking or savings account online in minutes at cbtcares.org or visit your local branch. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Athletics, member FDIC.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 40 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding life and health insurance, Medicare, and retirement planning. Thompson Brooks Insurance can be reached at 434-385-8500 or online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram. Century Exteriors is a proud supporter of Liberty Flames Athletics.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Back inside Mellow Mushroom tonight, final few minutes as we talk Liberty football. Liberty 4-0 after their win on Sunday morning over East Carolina, 35-24. Next up, Appalachian State. The Mountaineers 2-2 coming off a home loss this past Thursday against South Alabama. Coach, a couple of thoughts coming in from our Facebook stream. Brandon is in the back. He said he got here late, so he didn't have a table up front. But, Brandon, we appreciate you being here with us. And Benjamin tunes in, and he wants to know, Coach, a lot of success since you came to the mountain here with your football team. And how do you keep your team grounded with that success and just striking that stone?
That's a challenge because I think what happens when you've won as much as the team has, you take that for granted, right? And so you constantly we talk a lot about that it's not about winning. Everybody wants to win. And so what's your purpose for playing? Okay. Like, why do we play, right? And because everybody we played wants to win the game, but we talk a lot about our guys, but we're playing for each other, playing for our brotherhood, playing for something bigger than ourselves. And then hopefully what that allows you to focus on is that I'm not worried about what the scoreboard is. I'm worried about am I giving my best for my brother beside me? Mm-hmm. Am I doing everything I can to make sure that I'm giving him everything I have? We talk a lot about that, and I'm proud of that, in some of these situations and different things that we keep going, and it's like we don't care about the scoreboard. And I think that shows up. That's we don't realize we're down 17-0 or some of those things. Our guys just keep fighting. And so that's our way of doing things is more about bigger than a win. It's more, hey, I'm playing for Allen. I'm playing for K-Salt. I'm playing for Cooley. I'm playing for Bentley. I'm playing for all these guys. Mm-hmm. And hopefully that allows us to stay connected and keep fighting.
All right, we've got one more question from the audience real quick, and then we'll talk about Appalachian State. Give us your name and what's your question for Coach?
Hi, my name is Solomon Park. Good to see you two again. And Coach Chadwell, that was a nice comeback and a nice win against ECU on a very long night. So, I know you weren't too pleased after a poor start, but it's still a nice comeback. So, what was the trouble you had on the offensive line at the beginning until you gain some momentum at the end so that you can get ready for the App State this Saturday?
Yeah, I think not necessarily maybe the struggle was up front. I think we took our turn at maybe a couple positions of not playing and doing the things capable. And most of the wounds were self-inflicted. They were like we fumble handoffs. We practice that every single day. So that had nothing to do with what ECU did. That was all us. And so those are things that our certain positions have to come out and be focused earlier in the game and be locked in on what their job is and their role and be ready to go and not sort of go through, hey, we'll figure it out. And so I think that's the challenge that as the coach we got to figure out is those things, those self-inflicted wounds we've got to be better at.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Solomon.
You got this.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Solomon. All right, Coach, 2-2 Appalachian State, offense, defense. Tell us about what Sean Clark, who's the head coach, you've matched up with him before. He went to school there, so his program obviously means a lot to him. But just your take on Appalachian State and going to Boone and playing there and what that's all about.
Well, it's a great environment. They care about football. It's going to be packed out, going to be sold. They have a lot of pride in that program, and I stated earlier, I think earlier this morning, the team who they were that everybody saw last Thursday night is not the team we're going to see, right? They've got too much pride in who they are and their tradition, and obviously Sean being a graduate from there, it's important to him that they represent the Mountaineer Nation, so to speak, in a way that they expect, and so they're going to play well. I don't know if they overlooked them and were worried about us. Usually that's what happens, and so, but I know they've got a great quarterback, they got a great receiver, they always run the ball. And then defensively, they're always active, and they always can cause you a lot of havoc because of the way they play. So we're going to get the best version of who they are, right? So the team that beat East Carolina held them to hardly any yards rushing and held them to 19 points, and really out of that 19, 7 of them was a return interception. So only held them to 12 points. That's the team we're going to see. And so we've got to play well. We're capable of going down there and win the game, but we have to do certain things to do that. We can't get behind this team the way we have in the past, because they have enough tools and talent to bury us, right? And the whole key for us going down there, it is a challenging environment. It's going to be loud. We've got to be able to turn that crowd against them. So since last Thursday, they're fire the coach, get rid of the player, all these things, right? And so that crowd is looking for something to go bad, and then they'll turn on their own team. Can we do that? I don't know if we're capable of doing that, but if we could get some things going early, and maybe that helps us, right? But it's a big challenge, and as I said, they're very talented, and what they showed there is not the team that we're going to see, and we understand that. And so it's a tough place to play. It's loud, and I was in a similar situation, 3 years ago. They got beat 41-13. We roll in there undefeated, jumped up 14-0. Next time we got the ball, it was 14-14. Wow. And it went back and forth. They kicked the field goal, no time left. They rushed the field, and not a great feeling, right? And so I want to make sure, our guys understand that we got to go play well, and they will. Our guys know it's a big game. It's our next one. It's always big. I always tell people, when Liberty's in town, it's always a big game. And we got to go play well to do that, and our guys understand it. And I think they're excited about it, because over the last 10-plus years, if you think of G5 football, they're probably the one that always comes to mind, or the top 2 or 3. Boise, they're always one of those. And so I think this is a great measuring stick for our program and what we're trying to build from a national standpoint. Hey, how do we compare with these teams that traditionally have been the best of the best? That's what we're trying to get to. And this gives us an opportunity to do that. Another out-of-conference versus a Sun Belt school, we get compared to Sun Belt teams, right? Gives us a chance the preseason number 1 team gives us a chance to go see if the preseason number 1 in Conference USA is as good as the preseason 1 in the Sun Belt. So there's a lot of positives there for us that if we can go play well, that helps our program.
A couple of notes on this game. It's a whiteout for them, so if you're going, wear red. There's a lot of red in the building, so just wash it and bring it to Boone on Saturday.
But they're not wearing white on the field.
They're not. Okay. They're not. I did not know that.
No, so they're wearing gold, black gold, or black gold, whatever. They're not wearing white. We're wearing white.
Yeah. So it's a white. Okay, I like that. And the last since 2019, that's a great note in the game notes. Leading into this season, Liberty and Appalachian State both had the most G5 wins of anybody in the country. Both were tied with 47. Liberty's now got 51. Appalachian State now has 49. So in the last 5 years, Liberty football has the most G5 wins. So that it's going to be a fun time matchup. And Coach, I know you'll have your team ready. Thanks for coming out here tonight.
Appreciate y'all. Flames.
That's head coach Jamey Chadwell. And our Liberty football show. Don't forget our next show next Thursday, October 3rd. We'll recap this game and look ahead to midweek on the mountain, October 8th. Against FIU. I want to thank Jamie Hall and Cody Whitman for our technical support here tonight. Of course, Jamey Chadwell, head coach, for stopping by and spending a few minutes with us. My name is Alan York. Again, 3:30 kickoff, Liberty App State from Boone. Our pregame radio show comes your way at 2 o'clock from Kidd Brewer Stadium. For our entire crew, my name is Alan York. Have a great rest of your week, and go Flames.
You've been listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty Football Show was presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Football Show was also brought to you by Carter Bank and Trust, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom Heating and Air, serving those who serve us. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Century Exteriors, experience and quality you can trust. Schedule a free estimate at centuryexteriors.com. And by Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. The Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union, has been an exclusive presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.